Hey guys, and welcome to another video. This is Ian, and this is an HP G60 244DX model. It was released in 2009 and came with Windows Vista Basic 32-bit. This is me just going through the startup process with it. It included a dual-core AMD Athlon processor at 2 gigahertz. Came with 3 gigs of DDR2 RAM running at 333 megahertz. Has a 232 gig hard drive at SATA 2, and it's 5400 RPMs. Also came with a video card, NVIDIA GeForce 8200M, and it looks like it was actually a special card for HP because when I pulled up the specs on it, it showed HP in parentheses, so I'm assuming maybe it was a special one for HP. So this one, this computer has 3 USB 2 ports, a full-size HDMI, an SD card slot, and VGA out, Ethernet, and dial-up modem. And as you can see, it takes quite a little while to actually start. So we got everything started. I did clean this thing up and got it looking nice. So I went ahead and did some testing with it to see how well it would run right now in 2017. So first I'd show the specs on here. So it does take a few seconds to come up here. And you can see all that information that I just gave here. And then I go into Firefox to do a couple of things just to see how well it can handle some basic internet tasks. I was having a little trouble with the focus on my phone, so I apologize for that. So first I check out Reddit. And the funny thing is I actually went on Reddit and the scrolling wasn't too bad. But when I went to pull up, I'm assuming it was a GIF or GIF, I always say that wrong. It did not load at all. So I picked this one, and as you'll see in a second, it doesn't show anything. And again, I was having trouble with the focus on my phone there, so you could see me trying to get it to work and basically giving up there. So then the next site I tried was CNN because it's very graphic heavy. And one disclaimer here, I did put uBlock Origin in the internet browser because I hate ads and I wanted to, give it the best shot it could have to pull this up. So it's not terrible. It does pull it up reasonably well. And then what surprised me was the smoothness in the scrolling. I didn't expect it to scroll that smoothly. I figured it'd be choppy because it's an 8 or 9-year-old computer, coming up on 9 years old. Then I tried YouTube, and when I tried this yesterday, YouTube was really, really heavy on the processor. So you'll see in a second, I actually pull up the task manager, and I'm trying to do all this stuff while I'm holding my phone and doing this with one hand, so sorry about the shakiness and everything. So pull up the video. It's a little, you can see kind of some choppiness in there, but I actually pause it for a second and then go into the task manager. And then when I actually start play it again, it seems like it's okay. It seems like it can tolerate it. So I pause it here, and then here I am attempting to pull up the task manager. And Windows Vista really does look a lot like 7. Like 7 was definitely just a huge improvement over this. So as you can see, the processor is not handling that very well. So the video is actually pretty good, and it defaults to 720p, which was kind of surprising. Now when I go into full screen, you'll see it, I go into full screen on the next video. So I didn't want to show a video too long, get a copyright violation or anything for showing somebody else's video, but I just wanted to, give an example of how this runs. So now I put this one in full screen, and you can see it it doesn't do too bad. I mean, but the processor is not happy with it. So if you were to watch YouTube videos on this computer, you'd probably have to only watch YouTube on this. You couldn't have anything else running. So, and then I just showed that once you get out of it, it goes back to, it goes back to idle. Now this computer, when I got it, was somebody else's, and I went through and I tried to clean it up, and I said it still had the recovery partition, so I recovered it back to exactly how it was. Now I did download Libre Office just to try that, to see how it can handle, basic writing task, and it actually didn't do very well with this test. So as you can see, it's very sluggish, and then as I type, I just typed in test, and as you can see in a second, it's not a very good. You can see it kind of lags. I mean, you would be able to use it and get it done, but it's definitely pretty laggy. And so I just went in and changed the font and the size, and just to see how well it would handle it. And see how it just lags quite a bit. The next one I go into is their version of Excel, and it lags also, so you'll see that in a second here. And the version I used was 5.3.5, which is, it looked like their most stable version. They did have a more recent version. It was 5.4.0 in that one. I just chose the stable one just to see, make sure I got the, most stable version that would run well on this system. And then the last thing I did was basically a PowerPoint presentation, and I just picked a template from one of the templates that it came up with, and just edited one and then put it in slideshow mode to see how it would handle it. So as you can see, it's a little laggy, just a little bit. But I mean, if you're doing, just basic tasks, it's decent. But this is definitely not going to be more than basic tasks. I mean, it can barely handle a YouTube video, so I'm thinking that some lower CPU intensive, tasks it can handle, but that's probably about it. And I think this was just about all I did here. Yeah, so, and it was also doing Windows updates while I was actually doing this. Oh, I just wanted to show some of the different things in here. So as you can see, there's Net Zero, and there's actually a Juno offer up there, if anybody remembers that free internet, free dial-up internet. So if that tells you how old this is. I did go into the HP Advisor, which is just a mess. Honestly, when I did the recovery and reinstallation of Windows wasn't that bad. The bad part was when it installed all the bloatware. That took such a long time. I wish I would have kept track of it. But it installed so much stuff. There was CyberPower Director, CyberPower DVD. There was My HP Games, which was, I think, Tangent Games. It was just a bunch of games on there. It came with a trial of Microsoft Office 2007. Came with Microsoft Works. I mean, this thing just had so much crap. So I got rid of a lot of it to kind of give this thing a fair shot with this. Now, one other thing is I am going to attempt to put Windows 10 on this because it does meet the specs. So I'm going to try and put Windows 10 on this and see how well it runs. It's very possible it could run better because I'll have a stock version of Windows 10 and it won't have any bloatware like this, this version that I got from the recovery of the computer. So that'll be my next video. So definitely stay tuned for that, and I'll try and do the same things I have on here. So where we go to the internet and check it out. And this was fun. This thing has updated so many times since I recovered it. It did a service pack, and I swear it's like every time I turned it on, it had an update. And then as you can see here, this was the screen of doom where it just steps 1 of 4. It just took so long to update this thing. So this was like a constant screen that I had for the past 2 days. And yeah, just ridiculous amount of updates. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and tune in for the next one.